Right now at noon, after a rare all-nighter, the U.S. Senate passed a major foreign aid package early this morning with 22 Republicans joining Democrats.
And we've got ourselves an absolutely beautiful day across the area. We're going to take a look at that forecast and how long this nice weather sticks around coming up.
Plus, fans are divided after the sideline confrontation between Travis Kelce and his boss, Chiefs coach Andy Reid. We'll take a look at the fallout.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on KOAM News at Noon. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. In today's top story, polls are now open for the Oklahoma School Board special elections happening today. For Miami Public Schools, candidates for the board member office number 4 are Donnie Ham Long, Travis Jones, and Terry Nixon. Polls are open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. today. And for the first time since 2005, there's a back-to-back Super Bowl champion. Kansas City Chiefs fans in the 4 states wasted no time. Immediately after the Chiefs' overtime win over the 49ers Sunday night, some fans immediately began buying up Super Bowl memorabilia. Academy Sports in Joplin stayed open late into the night to accommodate Chiefs fans. That's where we caught up with some, and as you might imagine, they were excited. Although some weren't quite sure KC would get the win.
Well, I wasn't exactly sure. When they didn't score first, it was a little iffy, so.
Oh my God, I couldn't stop screaming. I was freaking out. And then I had friends in Pennsylvania text me, "We heard you screaming."
And the Kansas City Chiefs are back home and ready to celebrate with their fans. Head coach Andy Reid stepped off the chartered jet with the Lombardi Trophy in hand. The Kansas City Sports Commission will spend roughly $1 million for this week's Super Bowl parade and celebration. And for the third time in 5 years, Kansas City is now preparing for the Super Bowl parade. This year, it'll be on Valentine's Day, this coming Wednesday, starting at 11 a.m., followed by a victory rally at Union Station around 12:45 p.m. A lot of schools in the Kansas City area have already canceled classes for that day. And if you plan to be there in person, you should know that the route is mostly the same as for the last 2 parades, but slightly different. It'll start at 6th Street in Kansas City River Market and end at Pershing Road in front of Union Station. However, this time the parade won't pass through the River Market. You'll find more information on the parade route and parking and transportation options on our website at koamnewsnow.com. And if you can't make it there in person, you have another option. You can watch from home or office. We'll be live streaming the parade and celebration on our YouTube page. You can scan this QR code to go straight there or just search KOAM News Now on YouTube.
And we've had ourselves an absolutely beautiful day across the area. Take a look at the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Not much to show other than a few clouds we had this morning. And we zoom out and at least across our immediate region, in fact, across a good portion of this area. It is calm, it is quiet, it is clear. It is a bit breezy though. MoDOT camera 20th at Range Line in Joplin looking back to the north. It is looking fantastic, but you can see the power lines moving a little bit. You can even see the camera swaying a bit. We get some gusty winds out there. Our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin showing the flags. They're not blowing like they were the other day, but come tomorrow night, they will definitely be out there swaying around. All right, yesterday started at 32, made it up to 46, so not far off our averages, and notice our average highs starting to go up a little bit. We're above average across the area though right now. We've got temperatures into the mid upper 50s, and of course out west we've even got some low 60s. And of course, don't forget, with Mother Nature deciding that the weather can change every 30 seconds in the area, take time to download the KOAM Skywatch weather app. That way, anytime you're not around your TV or your favorite streaming device or whatever, you can keep track of the latest weather. Speaking of the latest weather, there are some changes on the way. We're going to talk about all those in the full forecast here in a few more minutes. Caitlin?
All right, Chris, thank you for keeping us updated. Well, is there such thing as too many books? People shopping at the Webb City Public Library's annual book sale didn't think so. The sale started today at the library and offers the public an opportunity to buy used books the library no longer needs. That includes everything from adult bestsellers to children's picture books.
A lot of people, they may not have the money to go out and, buy brand new books or anything like that. And if they have a library card, they can come in, get their hands on those brand new books, and then at our book sale, they get the used books for cheap.
And the money raised through the book sale will be used to buy new books for the library. The sale goes through February 24th. To see what times the sale will be open, visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And a record number of people watched Super Bowl at 58, more than 123 million viewers. According to CBS, it's the highest rated Super Bowl ever and also the most watched program in TV history. A lot of people remember one particular moment, this sideline confrontation between Travis Kelce and his boss, Chiefs coach Andy Reid. Jerica Duncan looks at the fallout.
But after the fumble, he comes over to Andy and goes, "Keep me in."
Was it a heated moment on football's biggest stage or a step too far for one of the game's most notable stars? Those are the questions surrounding Travis Kelce's tantrum aimed at head coach Andy Reid during Sunday's Super Bowl victory.
I was just telling him how much I love him.
Both men brushed it off after the game.
He's one of the best leaders of men that I've ever seen in my life, and he's helped me a lot with that, with channeling that emotion, with channeling that passion. And I owe my entire career to that guy. I just love him.
He was really coming over just put me in, I'll score, so that's really what it was. Well, I love that. I mean, it's not the first time, so I appreciate him.
These types of outbursts and confrontations between players and coaches are not new on NFL sidelines. But even for a sport where intensity is often celebrated, it still took many viewers by surprise, including sports writer Bill Rhoden.
It was jarring. It caught my attention.
Rhoden says incidents like this are often glossed over in sports.
I think that we allow or just kind of pass off in sports because it's, the quote-unquote competitive spirit. Yeah, I think that we in sports, we kind of either jaded or whatever. We pass off a lot of behavior that in your workplace would get you totally fired.
He adds that an apology could go a long way, especially towards new fans who may have just started tuning in to the NFL.
I just think from a PR standpoint, from a role model standpoint, it might be good just to acknowledge it and just tell people that that's not the way you should act.
Jerica Duncan, CBS News.
And that's a look at today's top stories and weather in the 4 states region. Up next on KOAM News at Noon. Today is Mardi Gras, which is French for Fat Tuesday. We take a look at all the excitement taking place down in New Orleans. And later, we're making chocolate-covered cherry brownies in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Stay tuned. The Senate approved with bipartisan support a major foreign aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific following an overnight session. But where it goes from here is unclear, with House Speaker Mike Johnson already throwing cold water on the bill. Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill.
The bill, as amended, passes.
After a rare all-nighter, the U.S. Senate passed a major foreign aid package early this morning, with 22 Republicans joining Democrats. The bill includes $95 billion in aid for Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific.
This is a rare moment where history is looking upon the United States and seeing if we will stand up for our values, stand up to bullies like Putin, and do the right thing.
While the issue has divided GOP lawmakers,
this is about whether we spend it across the ocean or whether we spend it in our country.
Supporters say national security and democracy at large is at risk if U.S. allies don't get the help they need.
This legislation would send a strong message to Putin that his goal of capturing free, democratic nations will not be allowed to succeed.
But where the bill goes from here remains unclear. The House Speaker says he won't consider a security package that does not include the southern border. The White House urged the House to pass the Senate foreign aid bill.
Now it's time for the House to act.
Provisions to boost border security had to be stripped from the bipartisan Senate bill last week after a growing number of GOP lawmakers said they didn't go far enough. In his rejection of the Senate strategy, House Speaker Mike Johnson said in a statement House Republicans were crystal clear any so-called national security supplemental legislation must recognize national security begins at our own border. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And it's Fat Tuesday, and the party is kicking off in New Orleans. People come from all over the nation to celebrate Mardi Gras. Crews or social organizations set up floats and dress up in costumes to parade through the streets. The first group, the Crew of Zulu, kicks off the celebration. Mardi Gras is translated from French to Fat Tuesday. It began as a religious holiday observed prior to Ash Wednesday, which is the start of the Christian Lenten season. Celebrations have expanded around the world into the weeks and months prior to Ash Wednesday. Still to come on KOAM News at Noon, we see what's cooking with Mr. Food.
The fastest way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. And with the Valentine's Day treat we're making today, you can't miss.
But first, changes are on the way in our forecast. What kind of changes are you asking? Well, we're going to have the answer right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM News at Noon. I hope all of you are having a fantastic Fat Tuesday out there, or, like these folks, probably just heading to lunch or heading out shopping. You never know for sure unless you're riding with them. And if you're watching us, odds are you're not riding with them. But it is an absolutely beautiful day regardless of what you're doing out there. Of course, that's MoDOT Camera 20th and Rangeline. Where all these people come from, I couldn't tell you. I've lived here forever, and all I know is that between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 p.m., all of a sudden there's 500,000 people out there, and then they're gone again. And at night it's deserted and quiet and weird. That's just the way it works here in Joplin. Our camera on top of the Cornell Complex looking good. There's those winds blowing. They're gusting occasionally out there. So not the sustained winds that are too strong, but we are seeing some wind gusts out there pushing that 20, 25 mile an hour mark. Otherwise, clear skies, 54 in Joplin. Of course, that is what it feels like. That south-southwest breeze is at about 15 miles an hour. But again, we're getting those gusts upwards of 20 to 25. Around the area, take a look. You head a little further to the south and east, and you get a little cooler. Monette is the cool spot at 46, and the warm spot right now is Neodesha at 62. So not a bad spread of temperatures out there, low 50s to low 60s across the area. Winds are going to be the thing. Now, through the rest of the evening, they're actually going to calm down a little bit for most of us as we head through the evening and overnight, and then back toward tomorrow, they're going to start picking up again. This time, though, a little more out of the south, gusting upwards of about 25 miles an hour or so. However, we head later into the evening and into the overnight hours. By 5, those winds really start picking up. Now, they're still coming out of the south, but now in southeast Kansas, we're seeing those gusts around 30 by 5. And as we head overnight, those gusts, here we are at 11 o'clock, pushing 40, potentially 45 miles an hour. So anybody who maybe is doing some late night traveling, or maybe like some of our folks here, they have to start to work at 11 o'clock at night, just be aware of those very gusty southerly winds. Now, they'll start to ease up, not immediately, but towards sunrise tomorrow. They start to calm a little bit compared to the 40 mile an hour mark. As we head into tomorrow afternoon, Thursday afternoon rather, they will begin to ease up. So again, on average, highs right around mid-upper 50s. Obviously, some of us a little warmer, some of us a little cooler, but we're looking right around the mid-upper 50s. At southwest breeze, again, occasionally gusting to 25. Mostly clear skies tonight, so just a handful of clouds. Upper 30s, so that is chilly, but again, that's above average for this time of year by about 10 degrees. And then as we head into tomorrow, even more low 60s, which means a little further west could see a few more mid, maybe even upper 60s. And throughout most of the day, those winds will be gusting at 25. But again, we go later into the day tomorrow and into the first half of our Thursday, and they'll really pick up. A few stray showers possible Thursday and Friday. I think most of us are dry. We're a little cooler heading into Thursday and Friday, as well as Saturday and Sunday. And then next week, winds pick up again, and they bring in warm temperatures initially into the low 70s by next Wednesday, ahead of some additional rain chances by next Thursday. So all in all, though,
we'll take it.
Not bad.
Absolutely. That's great news. Thanks, Chris. We'll stick around because we're making chocolate-covered cherry brownies in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. We'll be right back. It's time to check in with Howard in the Mr. Food Test kitchen. Today he's making the perfect romantic treat for Valentine's Day. It's called chocolate-covered cherry brownies. Take a look.
Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and you might want to make something a little special to bring to work, to send with the kids to school, or to give to that someone special. So with that in mind, we came up with a from-scratch brownie that's topped with chocolate dipped cherries that everyone will love. We begin by melting a good amount of chocolate chips with a bit of butter in a double boiler. Here I'm using a heat-proof bowl over a saucepan. Once it's smooth, we whisk in some cocoa powder and set it aside to cool. In the meantime, we beat together some eggs, sugar, a little vanilla, and a touch of salt. Now we whisk in our melted chocolate. And once it's mixed, we add some flour. We spread this into a baking dish and pop it in the oven until it passes the toothpick test. While it's baking, we dip some cherries in melted chocolate, leaving just enough red to make them look Valentine's Day special. After the brownies cool, cut them into squares and drizzle each piece with melted chocolate, then top them with a chocolate-dipped cherry. To get the recipe for our chocolate-covered cherry brownies, simply visit our website. I'm Howard of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a chocolate lover's way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
To find this recipe, along with many others, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Warm and breezy today, warmer and breezier tomorrow. Remember those wind gusts picking up late tomorrow night into early Thursday. A couple of straight showers Thursday and Friday. A pinch cooler, much cooler Saturday, Sunday, and then back to the 60s by Monday with the winds returning.
All right, and coming up tonight at 5, we know exercise is good for your body and mind, but getting that physical activity during the winter months can be difficult. We'll have some tips on how to stay active and safe. Plus, we head to the nursing home to celebrate Mardi Gras, and 100 women who care donate money to Camp Childress. Join us for those stories and more tonight on KOAM News at 5. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day and happy Fat Tuesday.